Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video I wanted to give a quick message to the parents out there really, and there are a few reasons for this. Mainly it's because I've had a lot of them responding to my videos, particularly my Living with Aniridia and my Nystagmus videos and the How I See video that I did for the RNIB, and videos like that where I talk about my eye condition and my life in general. And parents have said, thank you for telling us your story, because it shows that my son or daughter can grow up with their visual impairment, and live a happy and healthy and good life. And I'm very humbled by that. I'm very glad that I can offer that kind of support and comfort, because it's not something I'd really considered when I started kind of doing my videos. I was focused on connecting with other visually impaired people and kind of explaining to sighted people about, how to interact with us and what it's like to be visually impaired. So to know that my messages are helping parents as well is brilliant, and I love that very, very much. So, thank you so much for getting in touch, and I'm always happy to answer questions, as best I can about, my experiences and my eye condition. But also on top of that, there's another YouTuber, How Casey Sees It, who did a video giving a message to parents recently, and I was kind of inspired by that to kind of do something at some point on the same subject to kind of back her up and support her. So, a lot of what I say will probably mirror what she said, but Casey's a great YouTuber, so go and check her channel out. And also there was a campaign by a disability charity recently, not the RNIB, another one, which was about raising money for research into eye conditions, which is a great aim. But the problem with the advert was that it was portraying sight loss and having a child with sight loss as a really bad thing. You have parents on there saying, do I want my child to grow up in a world where they're using a long cane or a guide dog? No, I don't want that at all. And although it's a sort of understandable attitude to have because of the fear and anxiety involved in it, it painted disability and visual impairment in a very negative light. Yes, it would be great if we could cure all eye conditions and disabilities, and have children without disabilities. That would be lovely if research could go that far. But we have to accept that at the moment we're not at that stage, and there will be disabled children out there. And at the end of the day, it is not a bad thing, to be visually impaired or disabled. It's awkward sometimes, it's difficult sometimes, but so are many other things in life. Even if you're not disabled, you can still struggle in life for an innumerable amount of other reasons. Disability isn't the end of the world. There is a lot of support out there, be it in terms of technology or in terms of human personal support or support online or whatever it may be. There's a lot more support out there today than there ever was. So I think it's wrong just to portray disability as a negative thing, because I think for parents in particular that gives the wrong message. Because when you have a child who is disabled, especially if it's the first time you've had a child with a disability, or it's a disability that you haven't encountered before, then it is scary. It is bound to raise a lot of anxiety and worry, about how your child's going to cope and how you're going to cope bringing them up. And basically the message I want to give is, try not to panic, try not to worry, because the child will develop and they will adapt, because they have to. At the end of the day, every single child that is born has to grow up getting to know the world around them and how to do things and how to interact with people, regardless of whether they have a disability or not. Every single child grows up into a world that they're completely unfamiliar with, and they have to take time to adjust to that. And your child will just adjust to it and learn to do things in a slightly different way to other children, and they just might need a bit of extra support or adaptations to enable them to do that. That's basically what it comes down to. It doesn't mean they can't live a normal life. They just need that bit of extra support just to help them along sometimes. With their work, they may need things blown up or on different coloured paper, or things, blown up on the computer, or they may need speech or something like that, or they may need to use a cane or a guide dog when they're out and about as they grow up. And that's the point. There is so much support out there now. There's a lot of technology out there. There's a lot of understanding medical practitioners and social services and groups for disabled people, organisations specifically designed for disabled people, and even organisations for specific visual impairments or other disabilities. There are social groups of people with disabilities, visual impairments out there. There's a lot of support groups and organisations online that you can connect with, and you can connect with other people online all over the world now to talk to them and, realise that you're not alone. So, it's not such a lonely, unsupported world anymore than it might have been perhaps a few decades ago. It's very much more closely knit. There's a lot more support and advice available out there. I'm not saying it will always be easy to get the support that you need. I know that in terms of funding or your location or whatever it may be, Sometimes it may be difficult to get that support, but fight for it. Do what you can to get the support that you need. And initially, you won't know exactly what support your child needs. You may get advice on perhaps what benefits you can get or some basic support they might need, but to a large extent it's a lot of trial and error. It may be that your child needs things blown up to a certain size print or on certain colour paper, or they need certain software on the computer, or they need to use a certain length of cane, or whatever it may be. You have to just try and figure these out. You'll be learning as much as the child does, so it will be trial and error. Some things will work better than others. Sometimes your child might struggle with something, but then try and find a way that they can do it better. And if someone isn't giving you the support that you need, then push to try and get it. Help them to understand why the support is necessary. Again, use online resources if you have to kind of back yourself up, or social services, or a disability organisation, or whatever it may be. You get the support you need because your child needs it and they're entitled to it. Again, any support you need as well. If you need to talk to other people online, other parents, or to disability organisations, to make yourself feel at ease so you feel comfortable bringing up a child with a visual impairment, then again, get that support. I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but the support is there, so use it. Don't just think you have to do it on your own, because you don't. You really don't. You're not alone. Whatever condition your child has, your child is not the only person with that condition. You're not the only parents out there who are looking after a child with that condition. Dig around every way you can to find out as much as you can about the support available. Obviously, where medical diagnoses are concerned, then trust your medical practitioner. Be a bit careful what you read online about medical stuff, because even people who've had the same condition as your child will still find things have progressed differently, because even within each condition there is a spectrum of how things can develop and how good or bad they might get. So don't assume that what happens to one person will happen to you or your child, because it doesn't work like that. It's never that simple. So trust the advice of your medical practitioners, your eye doctors, or whoever it may be when it comes to the actual medical side of things. You can get a general idea online, but just don't trust Wikipedia or the occasional Facebook post from another parent as de facto what's going to happen, because it might not. Disability is a very, very individual thing. So my message to you is just take it slowly, one day at a time, a week at a time. It takes a long time for your child to learn everything, just like it does for any other child. It'll take a while for them to build up their confidence and to learn exactly what support they need. Their support will evolve over time as they get older anyway, just as your child evolves in every other way. So it will be a learning process. And just because you might struggle early on does not mean by any means that your child will struggle. And if your child struggles initially with things, which they might do, don't assume that they're going to struggle later on, because as the years go on, they will adapt and they will learn, and with the right support, they will learn the best way to do things. I started off not being very confident. I was bullied at school. I was very, very shy. The idea of doing videos like this online would never have occurred to me. I would never have imagined getting a degree and a job and moving to London and getting out and about and being social on my own. But I have done. And that's just, been over my years of development that I've grown in confidence and grown in my abilities to be able to do that. So you have no idea what your child is going to be like as an adult. Just take it one day at a time, a week at a time, and just take it baby steps, bit by bit, as they grow up and develop, and as you learn how to support them as you go along, and it will be fine. Just get the support you need, get the backing you need, just to help you feel comfortable, whatever that takes. And don't think that disability is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing that your child has a disability. It may not be ideal, it may be difficult sometimes, it may be awkward sometimes, but it's not the end of the world. Your child is still more than capable of living a happy and healthy and enjoyable life. And that's basically the message I want to get across. Your child will be fine, and there's a lot of support out there to help you, so use it. Try not to worry too much. I know that's easier said than done, but try not to worry too much. And get the support you need, and everything will be fine, in the long run. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say, really. Click the like button if you found that useful. Feel free to leave a comment. If you're a parent, you can ask me any questions you like. I don't mind. I can't guarantee I'll be able to answer them always, but I will certainly respond if I can with something useful. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to check out my new videos as I release them. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you for another video very soon. Bye.